George, welcome to Elsewhere.
So Elsewhere is a living museum and artist residency set inside of a former thrift store that was run by my grandmother for 60 years, from 1939 until 1997. Over time, just amassed this enormous pile of things. And as a kid, it was this magical treasure trove. Foot aisleways through the entire space, boxes and boxes to dig through. And I'd spend hours coming here and visiting and exploring this magical space. And when she passed in 97, it sat. No one in the family knew what to do with it. Downtown Greensboro was a very, very sleepy place filled with antique stores, and this was this sort of magical trove. And as artists, we began to imagine, what if this stuff could be the material, the home, the living space, the creative space? What if environments really mattered to creativity? But we came in 2003 and decided that nothing would be for sale, nothing would leave. Instead, we'd invite artists to come in from all over the world to use the materials to create works that would become part of this changing, transforming, living museum. Well, the amazing thing is that Elsewhere, sort of as a museum, which is a Please Touch museum, a museum about engagement, a museum about participation, but it allows people to enter in actually from the perspective of their own remembrance and memories and history, right? And you encounter artists that are working in contemporary fashions, that are dealing with critical and vibrant issues and issues around social justice and everything else. But what you have at the very baseline is an encounter with your memory, and that's kind of what makes it Elsewhere, right? It's like familiar and distant all at once. It's strange and foreign all together. In that very strange way, it becomes familiar, and that is an experience of growing accustomed with a place. And we're really about building place and building community and building collaboration in our city. Greensboro is special, and we're going to bring artists from all over the world. We're going to bring creative thinkers from all over the world to come here, because this is an important town. It's got an important history, and it's an important place to raise a family. The reason you care about art in your town is because you really want a good economy in your town. And a good economy depends on a center and a brand of our culture, and a place that people want to come to, whether that's tourism or businesses. This is that extra moment of curiosity and transformation and change that makes this place feel vibrant, and that helps create a more sophisticated and creative economy here in Greensboro. As a part of a series of projects, we built this garden in collaboration with a whole set of new buildings that are coming online. So in terms of that architecture, for 12 years this has been vacant buildings and an empty dog lot, right? Which was kind of wonderful, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of loved the dog lot. We're in the middle of a large restoration. Over the past 2 to 3 years, we've been raising money to put in the basic structures and infrastructures that are necessary to make this project operate. We've been operating for 12 years now and have been running an effective nonprofit, but we didn't have heat or air, we didn't have proper coding, fire safety, we didn't have residential coding, we were operating seasonally. So we'd shut down in the winter and have to reopen in the summer and swelter in the heat. Thanks to ITG, you are supporting and creating a museum and experience here in downtown that is bringing in over 50 artists a year, hundreds of artists over the years, to come and create in our community, to live in our community, to live downtown and add their ideas into our world. As a museum, we're open daily, and we have about 10,000 visitors that come in a year, and they explore and they play and they meet people from all over the world that are making work and are creatives, and they understand sort of a different way about the creativity of their city. We also do a whole host of programs, education programs, working with at-risk schools and at-risk youth, providing healthy eating projects, surrounded and focused on art, working with LGBTQ youth, who develop a magazine called I Don't Do Boxes that is sourced from all over the country, stories from all over the country, and then is shared to Guilford County schools around. This is not just an art space, but it's a cultural space, and it's a place where people feel engaged, both the audiences and the artists and the youth and the people in our community. It pushes our creative culture here in Greensboro at a critical moment when we're redefining what the city is and who the people are in this city and what downtown means, and the kinds of sort of inclusive patterns and behaviors that we are going to build here, and the way that art is going to help drive our culture. Elsewhere is an important place to push that edge.